G'day everyone, Matt from Nevermind Adventure Tours back here again. Yeah, I know I probably look like I'm wearing the same clothes as I was in video number 2 because I'm just filming them back to back actually because I thought I might get into a rhythm, so you can be the judge of that. Anyway, I'm still wearing my very best flannelette, or as we call them in Geelong, scum shirt, with my new limited edition winter design Nevermind t-shirt. So if you want some of these, we're doing 2 for $60 with postage, which is a really good deal because they cost me over $20 each just to make and print and that, and they're made right here in Geelong as well. So get amongst it. I'm not going to make a buck out of that one, but you'll be getting around town in the latest Nevermind merch. So hope you like that last email we sent out about Nevermind comparing us to the Rolling Stones. Probably a bit far-fetched, but probably a good laugh. So as you can see, still got the Poland whiteboard map up. I went to a lot of effort to create this. So this is my third video now talking about this whiteboard Poland map. So I don't even really need it for this one, but this is going to be my last one. So hopefully by now you've jumped on board, and if you haven't, come next year, although you get a bit of a discount this year just because it's the first one and I might stuff it up. But the first one's always the best. You ask anyone who's been on the first island trip, Sri Lanka, Patagonia, they're always incredibly fun and just, it's just got a different feel to when I've done it 50 times. So not that you should be worried about that because I'm a professional. And like I said in the last email, we carefully curate and craft these motorbike tours, what we do and what we love doing. So one of the places I'm really looking forward to, which isn't on the map, number 2 here, Zakopane. So look that up on Google Maps and YouTube. It's a cool mountain village where the Polish go for holidays in summer and winter. It's a bit like our ski resorts here up in the high country. Looks really cool. Looking forward to that. Obviously I've spoken about where my family's from, over in the southeast corner here. Real grassroots area of Poland. We're going to see some weird stuff around there. I reckon some very, very backward, sort of deliverance type country, I'm imagining, if I know my grandparents correctly. But yeah, it's just, and then up around here, like I said, I can't wait to see the national parks up here. But what I did want to talk, and I promise you, we're going to talk about Polish food. So again, I've made some notes here because I don't want to miss anything, but I just want to talk about the 5 sort of top foods. So pierogi, it's the Polish version of ravioli, part handmade little stuffed dumplings they are. Just beautiful, He says here, according to the internet, undisputed king of Polish food. Fillings include potato and cheese, sauerkraut, mushroom or meat, boiled or pan-fried in butter. Every Polish grandmother has her own recipe and considers hers to be the best. And this is true. I now buy them from, they sell them in Geelong Fresh Foods in Packington Street. I'm sure wherever you are, you'll find your little grocer. So, they're frozen, but still love them. I don't have time to make them, but I just throw them in a pan, bit of butter. My favourite's sauerkraut and potato. Just a great healthy snack. Very delicious, and I'm sure they're going to be even better in their home country. Bigos. This one's really cool. The national dish known as the hunter's stew. Look, to be honest, it's basically sauerkraut with anything left over from last night's dinner. It could be roast meat, sausage, whatever. You throw it all in, you stew it up, and then you leave it for 3 days and eat it. I'll see what it says here. That's my description of it. It's delicious though. Known as hunter's stew, a slow-cooked mix of sauerkraut, fresh cabbage, various meats, mushrooms and spices, has been a staple for centuries and actually tastes better reheated over several days. There you go. I do know my shit. Zurek, the next one, the bread bowl soup. I'm not overly familiar with this. I have tried it, but I can't remember if I liked it or not. Sour rice soup served in hollowed out bread bowl, topped with the hard-boiled egg and chunks of white sausage. That's good stuff, actually. Thick, hearty, and unlike anything in Australia. Very photogenic. So, yeah, we expect to see lots of food photography come September. We'll be sharing our Insta moments, I'm sure, making everyone back home jealous. This is a family favourite. My old man loves this. Dad, if you're watching, pickled herrings. When I grew up as a kid in Grovedale, that's a pretty special place, Grovedale. It's where Nevermind probably was inspired. It's here, nearby here, so it's not in Poland, but Dad always had a jar of pickled herring, so a jar of fish. Thought it was disgusting as a kid. I now get it. Herring prepared in multiple ways in oil, onions, cream sauce, vinegar with apple and mustard. Especially enjoyed as part of a traditional Christmas Eve, served as a bar snack alongside vodka. Herring and a shot of cold vodka is a proper Polish way to drink, so we'll be doing plenty of that. Sounds disgusting, but the texture of a Polish pickled herring is hard to beat, and the taste, it's like salt and vinegar chips, I guess. Maybe. So, Ozpiak mountain cheese, smoked sheep milk cheese from the Tatra Mountains. I didn't know about this one. South of Krakow, traditionally carved into a distinct spindle shape, grilled and served with cranberry jam, has protected designation of origin status. Like champagne, the genuine article can only come from one region, but you can find it all over the Krakow market. So that's going to be cool. So the Tatra Mountains, obviously down here, we're going to ride through there. So we will be eating fresh Ozpiak mountain cheese. Really looking forward to that. Kielbasa, smoked sausage. Obviously the Polish sausage. Everyone knows what it is. I don't need to talk about that. But it's even given me a Krakow food tip. The Stary Kleppers Market Hall and Plaknori Square in the Jewish Quarter are the best food spot. The iconic late night street food, Zekoplana, a long open-faced baguette toast with mushroom cheese. Very camera friendly. It's going to be good. So I haven't been to Krakow for quite some time, so this might be a new thing, but we'll be going there. The vodka debate, Poland versus Russia. So I've heard about this. I'm not a vodka drinker, although I did break my collarbone in Vilnius, Lithuania, about 12 months ago, drinking vodka with some ex-Soviet soldiers. They're probably watching me. We are friends on Facebook now, but it was raining, cobbled streets, and electric rental scooters involved, and some stunt work. So we didn't get any photos or anything, so that's disappointing. They might show up at some point. One of the great ongoing international disputes, and the Poles are very passionate about this one, Poland's claim. The world's first written mention of the word vodka appears in 1405. Court records from the Sandomieras in Poland. Oh my God, Sandomieras is where I've read about it. My family's from Nizhek, apparently, a small village, 200 or 300 people. Sandomieras is where my nearest family records are kept. So that must be like the capital of that province. So big vodka drinkers. I have perhaps some genetic, interesting genetic makeup, I'd imagine. Maybe that's why I got me a bit messy in Vilnius. I must admit though, like they were giving me double shots, and I had one, and I don't do shots typically. I will sometimes, but I thought it was delicious. And the Soviet boys go, "You like?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They looked at me like I was a bit strange, because I think most people nearly vomit at that point. And they said, "We try again." Bang. And I'm like, "Nah, it's good." And I'm drinking a pint at the same time, and they're looking at me like, something wrong with this dude. And more. Of course. And next minute we were out riding, three of us. We went and hired scooters, and we went out sightseeing. Woke up with a big lump on my shoulder in bed. Door wide open to the Airbnb. All good though. Got to test out the public healthcare system in Lithuania, and it was fantastic. Got 10 out of 10. Anyway, where are we going? So I got distracted there. At the time, it referred to medicinal preparations and cosmetic cleansers, but its earliest documented use of the word was by over 100 years earlier. Okay, well, interesting. By the 16th century, Poland had hundreds of working distilleries. The city of Poznan, over here, we don't go through it on the bikes, but we can call in. It's all pretty easily connected up in that part of the world. City of Poznan alone had 498 vodka distilleries by 1580. Polish vodka was being exported to the Netherlands, Denmark, England, Germany, Austria, and even Russia. Poland also built the world's first industrial scale distillery, opened in 1782 by the Bakuski family, Baczewski. Ewski is the same as my last half of my name. Interesting. I think it means something like very funny guy, who later became the official supplier to the Habsburg royal family. Russia's claim, the cultural argument. Russia argues that a monk named Isidore at the Childov Monastery in Moscow, Kremlin, created the first Russian vodka recipe around 1430. Russia also points out that the word vodka is linguistically Russian, derived from voda, water, and that Russia was responsible for turning vodka into a global cultural phenomenon through its mass production and export. The diplomatic vodka war of 1978, Poland actually took the dispute to international arbitration, formally demanding the exclusive right to use the term vodka. The case grew so intense that UNESCO was nearly called in to adjudicate. UNESCO declined to intervene. Both countries eventually agreed to share the heritage, a diplomatic truce that neither side has ever been fully happy with. Poland. The verdict. Poland has the strongest claim based on documented evidence. The earliest written record of the word, the earliest large-scale production, and the first exports. Russia's claim rests more on cultural integration than being the country that gave vodka its global identity. So, don't know. What do you say? You decide. See how you go. I mean, like I said, the vodka I want to try is this bison grass vodka. So here's the last remaining herds up in the northeast of the country. Wild European herds of bison. The Polish apparently there's something special about that grass. They take it, put it in the vodka, and it gives it a super special flavour and superhuman powers if you drink it. So there you go. So Polish food. There's loads more. I'm trying to think what else I've had. Sarme, that's a Croatian word. Polish, it's golobke, they're a very similar dish. It's a cabbage leaf steamed with rice and meat inside. Absolutely, it's like a big dim sim. Phenomenal. So that's just one, but there's so much. Famous for their poppy seed cakes, gingerbreads. Turin, this is the gingerbread city that invented the gingerbread man and all that. You walk around and it's all gingerbread. You can smell it everywhere. So we're going to have a lot of fun on motorbikes in Poland. I mean, such an unusual culture, such an unusual but incredible country, and making global headlines at the moment. Back to, I've been speaking about things like essential travel items, and I went into a few of them last video, and I thought of a few more that I travel with, and I just had a bit of a hunt around the office, and I found my Bose headphones that I've had for about, I reckon I bought these in 2018, and I do not leave home without them. You can see they're well worn. I'm on about my 10th pair of pads. You can order them. Still working good as new. Noise cancelling, Bluetooth. Just get on the plane, put them on. You know, old mate up there talking. The drunk Indian guy walking up and down the aisle. Babies screaming. You put them on. You don't care. And you put them on, and then your face mask. You put that on over the top like that. Can't see anything. Can't hear anything. 12 hours later, you're where you want to be. Refreshed. The other one, zinc cream. I use Surf Mud. Buy it from the surf shop over here on Torquay Road, around the corner from the office. Strapper, I think it's called. $20. That's lasted me 3 years, and that's just not me using it. That's the whole, half of the tour group digs into that. Obviously, I'm going to give the Nevermind T-shirt. Probably should have 3 or 4 of these in your kit. We've got the long sleeve, short sleeve, different designs, white, black. This is the winter edition, 2 for $60, including postage. Just email me, I'll send them out to you. You can chuck some money in our account or drop some cash in, whatever. Your Poland welcome pack. If you're going to Poland, there's one of these specific to every trip. So we put a lot of effort into these. Got photography, it's everything you need to know, the story of how Nevermind ended up in Poland. It's worth booking the tour just to get one of these. I'll sign it. It'll be worth something one day. The Mick Jagger of motorcycle touring. Probably more the Keith Richards, although Seba in Argentina would dispute that. You got the Nevermind patch. You need one of them on your jacket. Sticker for your helmet. Head socks. You need 2 or 3 of them. Incredible stuff. What else? I always travel with beef jerky. Exciting news, I work with a local mob here in Geelong called Fat V. One of my favourite jerkies, they make it here, local beef, everything. So those guys do me a wholesale deal, so we'll have that on our website soon. So if you had to buy that, we'll post it out. You can get it before your trip. And I might even talk about them and see when you book a trip, if we can throw it in your welcome pack and you can have a little sample of it, see if you like it. But like when you're in places like India and Sri Lanka and that, you want a hit of meat. I mean, no offence to vegans, but I like to eat a bit of beef every now and again, just get the protein hit. And I like it as a healthy snack. But like even in a bowl of 2 minute noodle, just chuck a bit of Fat V's spicy red hot jerky, just mix it in. It becomes a stir fry. It's just amazingly versatile stuff. 7 hours into a 17-hour flight to Europe, you're starving, the hostie's asleep, no one bring you any food. Jerky saves the day every time. Riding boots. I don't even use motorcycle boots anymore. I do sometimes, but generally I use, my favourite are the Caterpillar brand work boots. Not steel capped. I bought mine on Amazon. So you too can jump on that site. I think I've got the brown ones. I haven't got them with me, so I can't show you. But just hit me up. What else? Tablet v Kindle. So I recently purchased a. I've just got some punters walking past and distracting me in the windows. If you wonder why I'm looking out there, it's kind of annoying actually. But some people have no grasp of what they do. But tablet v Kindle, I've bought a Kindle recently just because I used to travel with 3 or 4 books and half the time wouldn't even open one of them, just adds to your luggage, takes up space in your suitcase. I don't take any books anymore. That's a lie, so I sometimes sneak one in. But I bought a Kindle, great, love it. The only problem is, if I had my time again, I wouldn't buy the Amazon Kindle because you can only use Amazon products, and I don't like that because some books you buy and they're not Kindle friendly, so get the non-Amazon ones, my advice. Socks, very important. I have a secret. I buy my socks from the Oakley shop around the corner in Torquay. Oakley don't just make great sunglasses. Turns out they make great socks. 3 pairs for, I think it's like $20, and they're like beautiful. Not too thick, not too thin. They last, and no one else has Oakley socks. So you throw them in your laundry bag, gets mixed in with someone else's, and you see them walking down the street with a bag of Oakley socks in their laundry bag. You're like, you motherfucker, give me my socks back. So highly recommend that. Probably shouldn't have said that now because you're all going to be wearing Oakley socks, and I should get Oakley sponsorship for that. And water bottle, right? So what you do, find one of those 1 litre aluminium or 750ml aluminium water bottles from the supermarket. You might pay $7.50 for a bottle of water, bloody ridiculous, but keep the bottle. I've had 1 bottle now, lasts me like 3 tours, incredible. If you lose it, doesn't matter, you know what I mean? So just a few tips for you punters at home. Now we've got Marie's list of questions here, and there's lots of them. So I tried to work my way through them on the last video, and I realised about 3 in that that's a bad strategy. So I'm just going to pick one for each video. So this is our last one, but don't worry, don't despair. I'm going to do one of these videos every week on a different tour. So next week I might kick off a Sri Lanka video, and it'll be very different to this because I've been there way more times, so I've got plenty of stories. So look out for that, and I'll do one every week. Obviously, I'll be away in the Himalayas in 3 weeks or something, but I'll try and do one from up in the mountains. So that'll be super good fun, and then post it from up there. Who's one local character you'll never forget? Interesting. Again, that's such a difficult question, but Ian from Zian's always been a favourite of mine. We, before COVID, ran motorcycle tours in Tasmania. It was amazing. We had a shipping container at the Launceston airport, and we'd keep all our bikes in there. We had 10 Royal Enfields in there, and we'd fly in from Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, whatever. Everyone sort of get in before 8 o'clock in the morning, straight off the plane. It was great. It was like Top Gun. We're walking down the runway with our helmet. You can just imagine. Scum shirts on, desert boots, helmets, looking spunky. Straight into the shipping container, crack it open, wheel the bikes out. Bikes are out, and then we head off into the sunrise generally. So head off down the west coast of Tassie, down to Bishno. So we'd head up through Scottsdale. Anyway, incredible. But coming back on day sort of 5 or 6, we come up through a place called Zian on the west coast of Tassie. This looks a bit like Tassie. Let's pretend this is Tassie, right? This is Launceston here, Bishno's here, Hobart's here, Strawn's here, Strathgordon's here, and Zian's probably around here. It's a strange, like 1 horse town, real wild west place. Um, anyways, one cafe in town. Ian and Sue probably watching this actually. Ian was a retired mining worker, and decided to open a cafe and restore old cars and bikes. And he had some old Aston Martins in his shed. He had a Royal Enfield inside the cafe that he'd work on, had it done up. And Sue, his wife, made incredible homemade sausage rolls. Coffee was average, but the company was great. You might even be able to dig back through our old Spotify playlist, and you might find some podcasts I did with Ian. He's a major conspiracy theorist. Turns out he was right on a lot of things. He didn't get the Jubilee right though. He had a theory that all our debts were going to be wiped out, and that it would be a restart from 2020. But still waiting for that one, Ian. Hope you're well, but yeah, maybe one day we'll get those bike tours going again. That was so much fun, and then you drop the bikes back, fly home. But Ian was so funny. He swore a lot, so we wouldn't have lasted long on YouTube. But hilarious character. Just funny, old school, bushy. Loved his bikes, loved his old cars. Said to him once, you know, he said to me, I think, he goes, what are you traveling around the world and that? And I said, well, Ian, I said, have you ever, been overseas or anything? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, I went to Melbourne once back in the 70s. He goes, I bought a car. I can't remember what it was actually. This story's going back probably 5 or 6, 7 years ago. And he's talking to 2019. He goes, yeah, back in the 1970s, I went to Melbourne, picked up a used, I don't know, HQ or something. And, we brought it back on the boat and brought it back home, and that's me overseas trip. He goes, I hated it. He goes, it's just, it wasn't for me. And he goes, I figure you stay in the one place long enough, all the weirdos find you. And so he used to sit in his cafe in Zion and just wait for people to come in and wait for the adventure to find him. And he did. He had some stories about some of the characters that had come through town. There was probably only about 6, 7 buildings in the whole town. I think there used to be about 30 pubs. There was one pub, but it was closed down. But there was a lot of weird shit going on there. Apparently the real estate agent was murdered, a few months before I come through town that time, and they don't know where the body went, and there's a whole lot of stories going around that. And you just imagine in the bush on the west coast of Tasmania, good place to get up to no good. So anyway, Ian from Zion, if you're watching, g'day mate. I'll have to come down and see you. Hope you're well. If you're going down to Tassie, pop into the Pit Stop Cafe. Great people. So that's probably enough from me. Poland in September, get on it. It might be already booked out by now, I don't know, because it's going to be a few days probably until you see this video. Next vid, I reckon I'm going to talk about Sri Lanka and my tattoos. The light bulb is quite famous now. Obviously, that's got a story. I've got some, so all my tattoos have a story. Most of them related to Nevermind. So, big part of my life, and I hope that it is forever and for many, many more decades. So you're welcome to become part of it. Like I said, Nevermind, or I said in the last email with Nevermind, where you're not just the audience, you get up on stage with us and be part of it. So www.nevermindadventuretours.com.au. Have a great weekend, people.